Imagine this. It's spring 2023. The anime world is losing its collective mind. Demon Slayer is dropping weekly animation bombs that make your eyes bleed in the best possible way. Oshinoko hits with that feature-length premiere nuke, instantly becomes the most talked about thing online. Hell's Paradise is out here chopping heads and serving up the goriest, darkest shonen vibes of the year. And Mashal is punching magic with pure muscle comedy. And then, in the corner, with no fanfare, no viral marketing blitz, there's this one show quietly cooking straight-up peak fiction. Heavenly Delusion. Zero hype, nearly invisible promo, buried on Disney Plus like it's some embarrassing family secret they don't want anyone to find. They even listed it under its Japanese name, Tengoku Daimakyo, in a bunch of places, like they're trying to hide it from the algorithm. While everyone else is trending, this production IG masterpiece is just sitting there, waiting for somebody to stumble in and get their minds blown. This is the one they slept on, and we're about to fix that. Okay, before we get going, a quick serious note. This show's not for everyone. It gets dark later, especially in episode 12. It has a straight-up essay scene that's pretty intense and psychologically heavy. It's turned away a lot of people, including some who's fully dropped the show. It's not ultra graphic, thankfully, but the betrayal and trauma kind of hit like a truck. So if those kind of themes are a trigger or a deal breaker, you should probably just skip this one, okay? Before I spend the next 10 minutes gushing over this show, go watch Heavenly Delusion. Go do it right now. Pause this video. I'll wait.
A few moments later.
Okay, you back? Good. Now let me tell you why this show slaps harder than Maru's death touch. Most anime premieres hit you with that slow burn curse. Just wait. Episode 7 is where it gets good. Trust me, bro. And then you suffer through 3 filler episodes worth of world building with a forced smile. Heavenly Delusion? Nah. It grabs you by the throat immediately before you even know what the hell the story's about. Tension? From minute 1. Something's off. The vibes are strong and that creeping dread never lets up. Like realizing the heaven everyone's chasing is probably just a shiny cage with free Wi-Fi and mandatory therapy sessions. Episode 1 drops dual timelines. Monster fights, Maru being a horny gremlin, Kiruko roasting him into oblivion. And it ends with that bird thing cliffhanger that had everyone theory crafting until 3 in the morning. No hand-holding, no exposition dumps, just pure, what the f*** is going on? Energy that makes you binge the next one on the spot. That's the hook. No waiting required, just peak premiere material. Heavenly Delusion is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi mystery told through 2 storylines that couldn't feel more different. It's like this show looked at every isekai ever and said, nah, let's do something different. Let's make the show actually good. One storyline follows the outside world. We travel with Maru and Kiruko as they travel through the ruins of Japan. A place shaped by monsters, broken communities, and the quiet aftermath of a society that's been gone for a long time. They're searching for something called heaven. What that actually means, or if it even exists, is never fully clear. Honestly, at this point, I'm starting to think heaven is just a code for a functioning vending machine that still has orange Fanta. What's clear is that survival in this world is uncertain. Every stop carries risk. Every interaction feels like it could go sideways. But what I really like is that the outside world isn't presented as non-stop misery. Despite how dangerous things are, the people Maru and Kiruko meet are still trying to live. There are open markets, service jobs, and games. Kiruko even has a past as a kart racer. Yeah, you heard that right. Post-apocalypse Mario Kart champion, baby. It gives the world a strange sense of normalcy. Not because it's safe, but because people are actively making the best of what they have. Trying to rebuild some version of society instead of just waiting to die. The other storyline takes place inside a sealed, futuristic facility. Here, children live sheltered, structured lives under constant robot supervision. They're given food, education, and care, but they're completely cut off from the outside world. They don't even know it exists. To them, this environment is normal, but as a viewer, it immediately feels strange. The rules are strict, information is limited, and small details start popping up that make you question what's really going on. What makes the setup work so well is the contrast. One world is dangerous but lived in, the other is clean, controlled, quietly unsettling. And the show never rushes to explain how the two connect. It lets the tension just sit there in awkward silence. The suspense in Heavenly Delusion isn't just from jump scares or some monster roaring in your face. No, it's much scarier. It's the stuff that's not said. The camera lingers on a random detail for half a second too long and suddenly you're pausing the episode like, wait, what was that? It's the anime equivalent of your friend texting, yo, we need to talk, and then leaving you on red for 3 hours. You know something's wrong, the characters are clues, and you're just sitting there spiraling. And the best part? Those tiny details you noticed? Yeah, they come back later to punch you in the gut. So you start paying closer attention, not because the show demands it, but because it keeps rewarding you for doing so. And also because you're probably a little paranoid now. Thanks, show. Although Heavenly Delusion is very much a story-driven show, the action is consistently strong, and I mean stupidly strong. When danger shows up, it hits sharp, fluid, and it's grounded. Production IG rolled up, cracked their knuckles, and basically said, "Hold my beer," to every other studio. No random power-up sparkles every 2 seconds. No filler effects. Just clean, impactful choreography that feels right in this ruined world. The animation during fights? Fluid as hell. Impacts have weight and every movement has purpose. And that's exactly what makes these moments actually tense. The polish isn't just for show. It serves the feeling that survival's earned, not gifted. Kiruko doesn't clutch wins because she's secretly some hidden OP badass. She survives because she's paranoid as hell. Every near-death experience from last week, or maybe even last hour, drilled a lesson into her skull. You literally feel that experience stacking up. Better positioning, quicker draws, smarter calls. It's tense without ever needing to devolve into full shonen scream fest or power-up yelling. The dread's quiet, realistic, and way more gripping for it. And then you've got Maru on the other end of the spectrum. The little gremlin just casually one-tapping monsters like he's auditioning for One Punch Man. The contrast is perfect. Kiruko's grinding for every inch of progress. Maru's breaking the game with a single boot. It keeps the action dynamic without ever feeling inconsistent or cheap. The bottom line? The fights never stop just to show off. They serve the story, the tension, and the characters. Production IG didn't just phone it in, they delivered some of the most grounded, hype-inducing action in recent memory. In a genre full of over-the-top explosions, this show proves you don't need fireworks to make you hold your breath. The same restraint that makes action feel earned carries over to the characters themselves. And honestly, it's what elevates the whole show from good post-apocalypse story to peak fiction that hurts my soul. The characters feel human, not because the show dumps exposition on who they are, why they're broken, but because it just lets their reaction, their silences, and their messy relationships do the talking. Humor sneaks in naturally, usually at Maru's expense, because let's be real, the kid's basically a walking hormone grenade with a one-touch death button. Silence is allowed to linger when it needs to. Bonds build slowly over shared near-death experiences and awkward campfire moments, instead of being announced with big speeches. Morality in this world? It's not clean-cut, not black and white. People operate on their own cracked survival rules, shaped by loss, danger, and zero safety nets. Yet somehow the characters we follow still cling to something. Not full-blown optimism, that would be kind of delusional in this hellscape, more like stubborn persistence. Quiet, screw it, we're still moving energy, even when the world gives zero reason to bother. It's respectable. I, for one, would be crying in a ditch by day 3. So all of this made me wonder why I barely heard anybody talking about this when it was actually airing. Because this doesn't feel like a show that should have been easy to miss. Yet here we are, 2023's best kept secret apparently. A big reason Heavenly Delusion flew under the radar has less to do with quality and more to do with when and how it came out. In the US it streamed on Hulu, and globally it was tied to Disney+. And let's be honest, Disney Plus isn't really where I've gone to browse seasonal anime material. I go there for Star Wars or Marvel. Not to dig through the anime section buried beneath episodes of That's So Raven and The Simpsons. It also aired during spring of 2023, a season dominated by louder, more instantly viral shows like Demon Slayer's Swordsmith arc and other headlining titles that seemed to take over every trending feed. So even though Heavenly Delusion was genuinely engaging for anyone that gave it a chance, it never really had that unavoidable everyone's talking about this moment when it premiered. It's not perfect, but it is the kind of show that sticks with you, not because it screams for attention, but because it earned it. And then you're quietly traumatized at 3 a.m. when you're trying to sleep. Oh yeah, quick 2025 update for a little bit of hopium here. Back in early November, Kodansha released a fresh trademark filing for Heavenly Delusion on Japan's Chizai Watch database. It's not a trailer or a press release, just a boring little legal breadcrumb that says, we're protecting this IP. But after 2 years of silence, I'd say that's the most hope we've had since the finale cliffhanger. Could mean merch, it could mean nothing. But if season 2 does get announced in early 2026, we're probably looking at a late 26 or early 27 release. So yeah, go watch it.